Hey, what's up? Remember to comment, subscribe, and like the video. You know, like, at first when I was analyzing Black Lives Matter, I was trying to figure out, what is this group? How did it come up? How did it come about? How was it funded? Who is funding it? And what is their purpose? What is their goal? And then after a while, you start to question, you're thinking, why does Black Lives Matter praise thugs? You're thinking like, because think about it, Black Lives Matter, what is the goal? Like, Black Lives Matter praises thugs, and it gets thugs to feel as though they're righteous people and should be protected, and then it allows them to stay thugs. So you say, well, why do they praise thugs? What is the point? All right, here's a real reason why Black Lives Matter praises thugs. Now, I've analyzed also liberals and have found out that a lot of them are kind of racist. They're actually more racist than conservatives are. Conservatives are racist because they live in mostly white communities, but they don't do anything policy government wise to stop black people from succeeding. So they're only racist because they prefer to live in only mostly white communities, and they try to make sure their communities are mostly white. And if foreigners do come in, they want certain types of foreigners. They don't want just some regular foreigners. They want hard-working foreigners. And if blacks do come, they want it a small percentage. I guess I would say if a black person becomes a Republican, it means they made it. They don't need to play the game no more. They made it. They're happy. They don't need nothing. So the liberals are actually more racist than even the alt-right is. The alt-right really isn't that racist. It's just a bunch of white people who have analyzed their community and noticed that a lot of white people are kind of wimps. You know, they don't have a woman. They're just online all day complaining. So it's basically white people are just because the alt-right movement is basically like the atheist movement. They use it to wake up men. They needed to wake up men, and they needed a figurehead. They needed Trump or Richard Spencer or something like that to wake up the movement, wake up white people. It was basically just used to wake white people up. And that was a certain type of racism. They want to live in white community. They want to wake white men up so they can start having babies again. Of course, it didn't really work because they're sitting around arguing and they're talking about MGTOW and all this stuff. So liberals are most of the time for the only way liberals can come into your community and remove blacks is that they have to bring in certain factors. They have to bring in Planned Parenthood. They have to praise abortion because Planned Parenthood is basically abortion. Was it? I think it's Planned Parenthood. He said 99% of what Planned Parenthood does is abortion. 99%. It was talking about PETA too. He said PETA, 95% of what PETA does is euthanize animals. 95% of animals they kill them all. So they euthanize them. So they bring in Planned Parenthood, they raise the rent, and they praise thugs. And it's like, and what do thugs do? Thugs kill other thugs. So the reason why they didn't want the cops to kill blacks is because they wanted the blacks to kill blacks. That was their plan. The fastest way to get rid of blacks is blacks have to kill blacks. Cops killing blacks, that's not fast enough. We need abortion and we need blacks killing blacks. So if you look at all the people they were praising, they were all thugs. because they want the thugs to be thugs. They want them to stay thuggish, and they want the women to stay crappy. They're gonna produce more thugs. If the men are killing each other, then that means there's no men around. That means it's nothing but women. So men show up only to kill each other. That's crazy, right? And you got the women, they suck. They have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 kids, sometimes 8, doing it all by themselves with the government involved. So they got abortion, got that happening. So you're aborting your kids, that's bringing the population of blacks down. So when it's time to move in, if it's time for the liberals to move into the black community, they can easily take over. Because you got the blacks fighting with each other, killing each other, and you can easily remove them because you just say that these people are unstable. They can't, they can't just sustain this environment. So you gotta go. You can't sustain the environment. It's just like a company that wants to get rid of their, let's say, a CEO. They'll just, they'll do something to make the CEO fail. They'll do something, they'll make something happen to make the CEO fail, so we can charge him for being incompetent, and then that's how they can remove a CEO. So they set him up. They set him up, and they make his environment so difficult that he cannot succeed, and that he will fail. And he'll say, "See, we need a new CEO because you're not competent enough." So they do with companies all the time when they want them to fail, when they want somebody to fail, when they want to remove someone. So they're doing the same thing with the Black Lives Matter praising thugs. They want the thugs to say thugs. Think about it though. We got these thugs walking around thinking that they can commit crimes and just blame it on the white man. They can blame it on white man, blame it on Trump, blame it on the government. They can blame it on white racism. It was like, just recently in Houston, I forgot what gang it was. Cash Money Millionaires, I don't know. I forgot it was, I don't know. But they were robbing all the stores, and they were posting it on, I think they were like tweeting it, basically, yeah, we're doing this because we hate Trump. I was like, what? What's that got to do with Trump? So you got all these thugs walking around thinking that they can commit crimes, and it's totally cool. We can just blame it on the white man. We can blame it on Trump. Trump's America. So here we got these liberals getting the thugs all hyped up, all juiced up, thinking they can just commit all these crimes. Totally cool. But liberals don't care about blacks, because if they did, they would tell the blacks to stop killing each other. They say, hey, maybe we should stop killing each other. And then you go to some of these, I think I remember they had this rally for Trayvon Martin, and they went up to this black couple, and they were like, sitting in their lawn chairs. They were at this protest like they were at a picnic or something, like they was at some type of fair. And this, I don't know if it was a woman or a man. I think it was a white man. I don't know who he was, but he held up a photo of a black girl that was killed, I think by like a drive-by or something. And he asked them, "Do you know who this is?" And he said, "Nah, nope, and I never heard about that one." So, but you know about Trayvon Martin, this thug dude that had it, that was trying to beat up George Zimmerman. He was banging his head against the concrete, almost killed him. Was trying to kill him or something, and he shot him out of self-defense. But you don't know about this little girl that shot in a drive-by. You don't know about this little girl. But how do you know about Trayvon Martin? You know about this thug. He ruined his life. But this little girl, she had no life. She had a short life. You don't know about her life, but you know about this kid's life. And I was thinking, why do the blacks also praise thugs? Why do these, they say uppity blacks, why do they praise thugs? Okay, The reason why blacks praise thugs, well, it's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of dynamics. Uppity blacks have already been left the black community, and they could care less about black people. It's all this fake love for black boys, you know. They don't care about black people because they've been left. They don't even live in the black community, which is cool. You should leave. You know, if it gets really bad, you should leave. Ain't no problem with that. But the problem is these blacks, they left the black community, but they feel kind of bad about it. So the only way they can feel good is they gotta praise the black community. So even though they don't live in the black community, they have to praise it. They have to praise it, you know, act like they're uplifting it. Don't change it. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to change it. No, just say that you approve of it. But we gotta do something about it. Okay, now just the same as why the liberals why they praise thugs is because they want the blacks to kill other blacks, because they're trying to get rid of the thugs, because they're trying to move into the city. And when you're moving in, it's gonna be is the only way you can like easily infiltrate the community is you're only the blacks that you want left is you're gonna be either just the women, because you can easily conquer. Man, you know how many countries that were conquered. You know why Africa is so messed up? It's because they killed all the men. And when they reach a village, when it's nothing but women and children, you can easily conquer it. I mean, the Pharaoh said it, bam. I mean, you kill the men first. You can easily get to the women. So they make sure the thugs feel good about being thugs, so they can keep being thugs and keep killing each other and keep ruining everything. So they can swoop in as kind of like the I guess the saviors and just remove out the black and they'll move in. You can easily do it because there's nothing but women. And the only men left is the weak dudes. And most of the soldiers are in jail. See, all the thugs were soldiers, but they either kill each other or they get, they in jail, the murderers. So all the soldiers, the thugs, are in jail. And who's left? Not the soldiers, the old dudes, old people, and women, children, and weak dudes. So, okay, anyway, so the reason why blacks also praise thugs is because they don't like thugs either. Why do you think they left the black community? Because they don't like them either. So they want the thugs to kill each other too, because it'll be better for them. It'll do two things. It'll make the black people look better. Then they don't have to worry about white people no more. The white people looking at them funny. They don't have to worry about that no more, because if the thugs kill each other, the people that would be left will be the good blacks, the civil blacks. So it's doing two things. We praise the thugs so they can kill each other. Because if you praise them, they won't. If you praise the thugs, and you don't call them out on their BS, then they don't have no reason to change. You're like, wait, my lifestyle is pretty good. I don't have to change. Everybody says I'm righteous. Everybody says I'm a victim. Everybody says there's nothing wrong with my lifestyle. So, and a lot of these thugs is young guys, and they don't have no fathers, and they're just around a bunch of emotional women. So they don't have they don't have any good role models. So nobody's telling them anything correct. Yet the whites giving you leeway to do whatever you want, and you got the blacks giving you leeway to do whatever you want. So, and Asians ain't saying nothing. Arabs ain't saying nothing. Arabs ain't gonna give you no advice unless you better yourself. You better yourself, then they'll give you advice. Arabs ain't saying nothing. Asians ain't saying nothing. Indians ain't saying nothing unless you better yourself. So, the blacks, the uppity blacks, the civil blacks, they praise thugs because they don't like thugs either. They want They want them to be gone too so they can start looking good. And they don't care about the black community anyway because they left when it went down here. They left a long time ago. So they don't want thugs either. So you say, well, if these people are just a bunch of thugs, why would I want them? Why would anybody want these thugs? You know, that's true. Who wants these thugs? The problem is these are people. Even if they thugs, they're still people, and we want them to be better. But I don't know, man. Their lifestyle has, you got from all sides. Everybody is saying that you're either a victim or you can just blame it on the white man. And you don't have to take any responsibility for your actions. You don't have to better yourself. Yeah, you can make money, but don't better yourself to make money. You can better yourself and you can make money the right way. Nobody's telling you that. Everybody's just telling you you're a victim. You got the white man is trying to keep you down. BLM got your back. We're down with the cause and everything. But they don't care about you, man. They're just trying to get rid of you. They're doing a double-edged sword. They're using abortion and murdering at the same time. That's how they're gonna speed up the process. So that's why they don't want cops to kill blacks. Because if you remove the cops from the black neighborhood, it causes more crime. And it causes more murders. So that increases the murders. So if they want no blacks in a neighborhood, they're gonna have to find a way to increase the murders. We can't pick cops in the neighborhood because they'll stop some of the murders. We can't get rid of the blacks because these liberals, they did it a sneaky way. That's usually how they do it. If the conservatives don't want to live around blacks, they just won't. If too many blacks are coming into the neighborhood, they won't set up any clauses or nothing to get them out. They'll just move. Just like the Indians would, or the Arabs would, or the Asians would. They'll just find a way to get rid of you. What the Arabs would do is, what the Mexicans are doing is, they're gonna breed and make you fearful. They just make it so uncomfortable for you, where you don't want to live there. They were saying how, like Crenshaw now, I think it was like, when was it, over 50%, over 60% Hispanic. It wasn't that before. And I forgot what California was, but I think it's like over 50% Hispanic. But anyway, it's pretty high. So the way that Mexicans get rid of blacks is that they use violence, which is basically fear. Matter of fact, there was, I don't know who it was, I think it was like a gang leader or something. Just recently he was arrested for trying to ethnically cleanse blacks from California. I was like, damn. So the Mexicans use violence and breeding to take you out. Eventually they're gonna just outbreed you. And Mexican gangs is crazy. Mexican gangs are funded by Mexico. I don't know how you're gonna take them on, man. They're funded by Mexican cartels, and the Mexicans pretty smart too because they have businesses and they're in the government. Blacks are not organized enough to know they have to join the government. And usually when blacks get into the government, all they do is become puppets. They don't really gain any type of power. They're just puppets for other races, basically. You know. So the liberals are just, they're doing it in a sneaky way. It pretty effective though. Got the thugs thinking that they did nothing wrong. They didn't do nothing. And once you remove the cops, the blacks would just start killing each other, which was the plan. And that would speed up the whole getting rid of the blacks. So they did a whole sneaky thing about making sure Planned Parenthood was in the neighborhood. They did 2 phases. Planned Parenthood first. Second phase, remove the cops. Then once you do that, they'll increase the violence. Thugs will have full reign on the community and do whatever they want. Kill anybody they want, get away with murder, do whatever they want to do. They'll make it so hostile that the liberals will have to swoop in and save the day. That's usually what they do. That's kind of what the government or the elites do, is they create the problem and then they come with the solution. That's usually what happens. So anyway, the real reason why Black Lives Matter praise thugs and only thugs is because they want them to kill each other. And if they, so I guess you say beware, if liberals want your community, they can get it pretty easily. Definitely now. I mean, you would think with the internet, black people have more information. Nah, they're still pretty ignorant. They still don't know being played half of the time. It's kind of funny how you look at Antifa, mostly white. You look at Black Lives Matter, mostly white, or let's say white women. You know, LGBT and all that crap. Mostly white women. So, yeah, you being played. They just want to get rid of you. But at the same time, it's like, because the thing is like, I know they're playing, but at the same time, nobody wants these thugs. So it's kind of like, that's why you would always get people on your side, because the thugs can keep being degenerates. The black women can keep being degenerate. They don't have to change. They don't have to better themselves. And the whites can do their sneaky stuff. You know, they can on the surface, like in the public eye, they look like good people. So everybody wins, right? Because nobody wants these thugs, and then at the same time, the thugs know they ain't gonna live that long. So they get whatever thrills and satisfaction they get from their little life they gonna live. And so nobody wants the thugs. Black, civil blacks don't want them. Other races don't want them. So what's the problem, right? Nobody wants these thugs around. But it's like you have pushback and you have information being revealed. Like, wait a second, we're figuring out some stuff here. We're figuring out some stuff here. But still, Chicago still has murders every single day. New Orleans, Baltimore, New York has what they said, over 50% people were aborted in, I think, New York. So even New York is messed up. So Planned Parenthood and murder is being pushed. We're removing laws to make sure criminals can commit crimes more easily, kill each other easier. So it always seems like we're getting somewhere, and then you look at Chicago and you're like, wow, nothing changed. It actually got worse. You look at New Orleans and you're like, it got worse over there. Baltimore still looks jacked up. You go to Baltimore, I've seen those Baltimore ghettos, man. They look all messed up. Then you go a block and it's like, whoa, this looks kind of better. What happened right here? So you be looking at stuff and you're like, well, somebody woke up, somebody's woke, but I just went to Baltimore last week, still look kind of jacked up over there. So Trump said some stuff, sounded pretty cool. But wait a second though, I was at Baltimore last week. I went to New Orleans last week. Looks black neighborhood look pretty bad, man. These poor white neighborhoods look pretty bad too. They still got one leg and 15 kids in the trailer. So it's like you be thinking it's getting better, then you're like, well, my life is getting better, but I don't know, man. I was in New York last week. Looked pretty messed up. Yeah, Chicago had 50 shootings last week. I probably ain't even joking when I saying that. I'm probably not even embellishing it when I say they had 50 shootings last week. They probably did. So it's like, I don't know, man. It's like, and they got us focused on Europe, and man, we got so many problems in America, man. Man, I say, forget Europe. That's your problem now. You wanted immigrants, here you go. You didn't ask what you wanted from them. You didn't say like specifically what you wanted to get from them. You didn't say what ones you want, what countries you wanted. You know, well, here you go. If you wish for something and you don't be specific, you're not gonna get what you want. So be more specific next time. If you ask the universe or something, make sure you're like specific on what you want. But you ain't gonna get what you want. You're gonna get it in a way you ain't gonna like it. So the women, they wanted the immigrants to come because they wanted men. They wanted better men. They wanted a better crop of men. They didn't know they was gonna rape them. They just knew they was gonna get some men. And they wanted to stick it to the other men, I guess. Or stick it to their country. I don't know what they were thinking. I don't know. Women are emotional, though. They do irrational stuff. So they were trying to stick it to the man, I guess. It worked. But I don't know. Man's kind of tired of you now. But you got what you wanted. You wasn't specific, but you got it. So, but anyway, like I said, the Black Lives Matter, the reason why they praise thugs, because they want to get rid of them. You know, as long as you're praising them, they won't stop being thugs, and they will continue to kill each other. And we'll just get rid of them. The sad thing is, like you said, nobody wants these people either. So, that's why black people will praise Black Lives Matter. That's why other races will praise it. They had no problem with it. Cr1me was a thug. Mike Brown was a thug. Sandra Bland was a thug. All these people were thugs, man. All these people were criminals. Nobody liked these people. They feared them, but they ain't like them. So they praise them because they want the thugs to keep being thugs.